These are three of the most infamous pirates of the Caribbean, and one of them even managed to become a vice governor. They captured ships, raided entire ports, terrified merchants, and were hunted by entire empires. And the third pirate on this list was the most feared of them all. His name was Bartholomew Roberts. Roberts didn't even want to be a pirate. He was captured by pirates, forced to join their crew, and just a few weeks later, he led a mutiny and became their captain. Roberts wasn't a drunken outlaw. He dressed like a nobleman, in a red silk coat, a feathered hat, and gold jewelry. People called him the gentleman pirate, and despite his elegant look, he was absolutely ruthless at sea. In just He attacked entire fleets, burned warships, and created his own pirate code. If someone broke it, they faced instant and severe punishment. Roberts became so powerful that Britain launched multiple naval missions just to stop him. An entire empire against one man. In 1722, during a surprise battle, Roberts was shot by a cannon, and with him, the golden age of piracy ended. The second pirate is someone you've seen in countless movies, usually portrayed as a bloodthirsty madman, but in reality, he was nothing like that. Teach was born in Britain at the end of the 17th century. He became an experienced sailor, and even before turning to piracy, served on ships in the West Indies. He learned quickly, mastering navigation, artillery, and trade routes. But what led him to piracy? After the War of the Spanish Succession, thousands of sailors were left without work, and Teach was among them. To survive, he joined the crew of the famous pirate Benjamin Hornigold, one of the most influential privateers in the Caribbean at the time. It was Hornigold who recognized Teach's talent, his decisiveness, skilled command, and ability to maintain discipline. Soon Hornigold made him captain of a separate ship, and thus the future Blackbeard emerged. In 1717, Teach captured a large French ship, the La Concorde. He armed it with 40 cannons and renamed it Queen Anne's Revenge. It was a floating fortress, one of the most powerful pirate platforms in the Atlantic. With such a vessel, he became a threat to all trade routes from the Caribbean to Bermuda, but he was far from seeking senseless violence, as many think. On the contrary, he did everything to make his enemies surrender without a fight. Teach understood the power of psychology, and it became his greatest weapon. On board his ship, drums, horns, and battle cries created a theater of intimidation. He braided his beard and tied in slow-burning fuses to look like a man unafraid of pain and death, and people truly feared him. Blackbeard's reputation went astronomical after, in 1718, he completely blockaded towns. Teach's patrols seized ships right at the harbor entrance, captured hostages, and dictated terms to entire British colonies. No other pirate had ever operated on such a scale, and no merchant captain wanted to encounter him at sea. It wasn't long before the English crown launched a full-scale hunt. Only a special squad of the Royal Navy could capture him. In the final battle, Teach had the advantage in long-range combat and even took out a third of the British crew with grapeshot, but then he made a mistake that cost him his life. Seeing the enemy ship half damaged, he, along with part of his crew, jumped aboard to finish the fight quickly, but it was a trap. The main British forces were hiding in the hold, and with their numerical superiority, they instantly crushed the pirates' attack, ending the era of the most feared pirate in the Caribbean. And the #1 pirate on this list turned out to be far more successful than the other two, and even managed to end his pirate career brilliantly. Morgan was born in Wales in the 17th century, and no one expected anything from him. But he realized early that in the New World, a man could shape his own destiny. He arrived in the Caribbean as an ordinary sailor, and very quickly became a privateer, a pirate who had England's permission to attack Spanish ships. His base was the infamous Port Royal, the richest, wildest, and most dangerous city in the Caribbean. Here, Morgan gathered massive pirate fleets that rivaled small national navies. His rise began with raids on Cuba and the destruction of Puerto Príncipe. The Spanish were shocked by the scale of the devastation, and Morgan was only getting started. In 1671, he launched the boldest attack of the 17th century, a strike on Panama, one of the richest cities in the New World. To reach it, he led hundreds of pirates through the wild jungles of Central America, where there were no roads, no food, and no fresh water. The Spanish gathered an army to stop him, but Morgan defeated them in open battle and stormed Panama City, burning it to the ground. The Spanish crown was furious, but the English crown saw him as a hero who weakened Spain, their greatest rival. The King of England did something almost no pirate had ever earned. He knighted Henry Morgan and appointed him vice governor of Jamaica.